What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. So by now you must have heard about Sunday Igboho giving Fulani herdsmen ultimatum to leave Oyo State, and the governor of Ondo State giving an ultimatum to unregistered herdsmen in Ondo to vacate Ondo Forest Reserve, as well as all the Southwest governors coming together and banning night grazing in their states and also grazing by underage children. So you must have heard about all these things. For those who didn't know about these things, I'll tell you what happened with Sunday Igboho at the end of this video. But briefly, I want us to look at some things together. Every country produces milk. In fact, some countries produce more milk than others. Every country produces beef. How are they doing it? That the cattle rearers in those countries are not invading other farmers' lands or killing people for their lands. I really hope that you watch this video to the end, because you may think that it doesn't concern you, but it does. It's already affecting so many people. I believe a lot of the crises we're seeing today in Nigeria are the results of depletion of resources, and I will explain more. In Nigeria, the Fulanis, which is the president's ethnic group, are the ones that primarily rear cattle. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there are three different kinds of Fulanis. There are some that are full nomads. They go from place to place. They look for green grass and water for their cows. There are some that are semi-nomads. They travel and then they settle. Sometimes they travel, they settle. And then there are those that actually settle in towns. Not all Fulanis are nomads, but there are some that are nomads. Another thing that I think a lot of people need to keep in mind when I talk about this is the fact that Fulanis are not limited to Nigeria. There are Fulanis in so many African countries, and I will come back to that as well. However, today we have herdsmen, we have Fulanis, and I'm not categorizing all Fulanis. People take offense easily. Please, I'm not categorizing all Fulanis. But today we have so many herdsmen that are invading other people's farms, burning down homes and villages of farmers, driving them away and occupying their lands. And they keep moving to other states of the country. Not only that, we now also have a set of herdsmen, mostly young people who are armed. They're heavily armed, and sometimes they don't even have cows. They lay ambush by the roadside. They rob people, they kill passengers. The same are those who are raping women and kidnapping people in exchange for ransom in Nigeria. And of course, the Nigerian government has not done enough to bring them to order. So it's so hard to fix this problem without first of all addressing the origin of the problem. And that's what I want to talk about real briefly. Number one, Lake Chad is drying up. Many of these herdsmen had relied on Lake Chad for years. This is Lake Chad in 1973, and now this is Lake Chad in 2017. It's drying up.
Persistent droughts and increased diversion of water for irrigation have reduced it to roughly 1/10 its size 40 years ago. Historical imagery shows the dramatic changes from the 1970s to the 1980s and the 1990s.
And I'm not saying that Lake Chad drying up is an excuse for them to invade other farmers' lands. I just want you to know that Lake Chad used to be one of Africa's largest freshwater bodies and a source of livelihood for about 30 million people. And now that it is drying up, it is leading to a lot of crisis, a lot of conflict, starting from that region inwards. Many Nigerians don't know that because Lake Chad is drying up, there are so many Fulanis that are coming from other parts of Africa into Nigeria. They're coming from Mali, from Guinea, Cameroon, Senegal, Niger Republic into Nigeria. Many of them don't know anything about Nigerian culture. Many of them are coming from countries where they are predominantly Muslims. And if you are not a Muslim, you are seen as people of less value. In fact, you might have run across some of them driving Okada in Lagos. Some of them are speaking French. Sorry to say, but we don't have borders in Nigeria. Our borders are super porous. And also, there has been an influx of Fulanis that are non-Nigerians that are now in Nigeria, living in Nigeria and perpetrating a lot of atrocities. I'm not saying that it is only Fulanis from outside of Nigeria that are perpetrating the atrocities that are happening by the herdsmen in Nigeria. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that what we're dealing with is a bigger issue than what many people are aware of. Now, the second thing that I want us to keep in mind is the effect of deforestation, especially in northern Nigeria. I did a whole video about this where I went into details about deforestation. please watch that video. I'll put the link in the description below. Nigeria reportedly has the largest deforestation in the world, in the entire world. That is alarming, and that has changed a lot of things. We've lost more than 55.7% of our primary forests. Now, when you combine these two factors, the depletion in resources, lack of water, deforestation, when you combine these two things with lack of education, and then add on top of that religious sentiment and ethnic sentiment, you have a huge problem. And instead of finding a solution to the root cause of this problem, people tend to fight and kill each other over resources, especially when we don't have leaders with vision, when we have leaders who are full of prejudice, leaders who practice bigotry, leaders who prefer people of certain ethnic group or people of certain religion, leaders that don't have vision, and leaders that don't know how to unite. It leads into a much bigger problem. And I feel like right now we're only dealing with the symptoms, we're not dealing with the root cause. Now, the one thing that makes absolutely no sense, despite the fact that we have so many herdsmen and cows in Nigeria, is the fact that Nigeria still imports 97% of our dairy products from other countries. How is that possible? And that's according to Trend Economy. You guys can check them out. They look at international trade statistics by country, and they compile statistics on every single country. So this number is based off of a reporting period from 2002 to 2019. 97.3% of the dairy that we consume in Nigeria is from other parts of the world. In fact, Nigeria spends between 1.2 and 1.5 billion US dollars, not naira, dollars every year on importing foreign milk. That's according to Reuters. That means we spend 571 billion naira on foreign milk alone every single year. And it's not just milk. We import eggs, butter, cheese. We actually import these things from New Zealand, Netherlands, Germany, Ireland, Belgium, Sweden, Denmark, Poland, France, the UK. In fact, let me give you guys 1 minute just for you to study and just take a look at how much we pay each of these countries in 2019 alone for dairy products. Okay, the question is, do we need to? Do you see where I'm going, that this is beyond an ethnic issue? Remember I said that other countries are also raising cattle and producing milk, beef. Well, let's take a look at how they're doing it. Believe it or not, India is the largest producer of milk in the entire world. India. The US is the largest producer of dairy products, but India is the largest producer of milk, followed by the US. So how is India doing it? Well, the government built ranches for the cattle farmers, and many of these ranches also have factories where the cows are milked. The cheese is made there, the other dairy products are made there. The interesting thing is what the cows are eating in India. They don't graze around eating just grass the way we do in Nigeria. In fact, moving cows from place to place to eat grass actually hurts dairy productivity. They actually make sure that the cows have enough protein and other nutrients. So they're eating a lot of grains. They mix other natural nutrients with grass because it determines how much milk the cows would produce. FYI, African countries are not utilizing their cows like other countries. In Africa, a cow, for example, will produce an average of 200 liters of milk annually, while a cow in other countries will produce an average of 12,500 liters annually. Take a look at that, 200 versus 12,000. Now let's take a look at what cows are eating in India. They don't just feed them grass. They include maize, barley, oat, wheat, rye, soy, flax, sunflower, beans, protein peas, beet pulp, molasses, and so on and so forth. They combine all these things. These are all natural nutrients that are good even for human beings, which is why they milk their cows about 3 times a day in India, and the milk keeps coming. They also feed the cows based on how much milk a cow produces. So if an animal has produced a lot of milk, they feed that animal extra food. And if a cow is pregnant, they feed that one extra food. So they do all these things on the ranch that the government built, and they have the factories there. One factory alone can produce like 25,000 gallons of milk in one day, and they process it there. It is from those factories that they now take them to other parts of the country and other parts of the world where they are exporting to. So the cattle rearers there, they don't have to be going to other states. I don't know if we're making sense. You may be wondering, what's the difference between this and Ruga that Buhari had proposed? Because some people will say, isn't that what Buhari wanted to do? Actually, it is not. It's not quite the same. So they want to take fertile lands in different parts of the country and use that to build what they are calling Ruga, a ranch. They also want to provide water, build schools, hospitals, road networks, vet clinics, markets, and manufacturing plants for the herdsmen at this Ruga. But based on how they are doing it in other parts of the world, you don't need to go and take other people's land. You don't need to take someone else's land. Right where the cattle rearers are, in their own land, you can build ranches for them and provide what is needed. The nutritious food that the animals need can be made right there. They can plant all these other crops that I mentioned, harvest them, and process the food right there instead of trying to take what others already have. Also, it's not fair that the government wants to build schools, hospitals, road networks, veterinary clinics, manufacturing plants just for the herdsmen when you're not doing the same for others. If you're not developing other parts of the country, you can't just isolate that you only develop cattle ranches. And besides trying to establish Ruga on other people's land, this government has refused to condemn, arrest the herdsmen who have now become terrorists in the country, or just take a stand. There's already an influx of Fulanis from other countries, like I said, many of whom have no regards for human lives if one is not Fulani and if one is not Muslim. It's so hard for people to trust people like that to come into their state. That's why people are opposing to the establishment of Ruga. You cannot have people who are walking around with guns and machetes and you expect people to want them to move next door. Maybe we first of all need to work on our border before we even do anything. And even if the government wants to build Ruga in other parts of the country, they don't need to seize people's lands. And that's why people are opposed to establishing Ruga on their lands. And the herdsmen should also be open to working with people of other ethnic groups. So if they're not willing to work with the people of the land that they are coming to settle in, it's not going to work. But if we can build ranches for the herdsmen, they actually don't have to keep moving around because they would have all that they need on their ranch. And if we do this, dairy production can become another source of income for us in Nigeria. Like we can be exporting it as well. We'll save a lot of money, first of all. I mean, we're spending billions of naira every year, more than 570 billion every year just to import milk alone. You can imagine how much we are spending on dairy products in general. But if we invest in doing this, dairy production can become another source of income for us in Nigeria. It will provide job opportunities for so many people, and Nigeria can even supply so many countries in Africa. For example, Kenya is doing really well when it comes to dairy production. Farmers make up to almost 5% of their economy. Kenya has the largest milk consumption rate of any other African country as well. They produce over 5 billion liters of milk annually. 5 billion. And in Kenya, a lot more of their milk is actually being processed and packaged properly. There are over 30 milk processors that have been licensed to process milk in Kenya. And due to milk production being so successful in Kenya, more investors are seeking stakes in farms, which is providing farmers with the necessary tools to produce even more milk within the country. So people are consuming milk everywhere. Meanwhile, Uganda produces between 1.5 billion and 1.8 billion liters of milk annually, but only 10 to 15% of that milk is processed. So the demand is there. People want processed milk, pasteurized milk. Rwanda produces 185 million liters of milk annually, and so they have surplus, but we don't know the data on how much of that is actually processed. I'm just trying to say that the market is out there for milk if Nigeria should get its act together. Okay, sorry that I've taken so much of your time. Now let me talk about what happened with Sunday Igboho for those that didn't know about it. Ladies and gentlemen, meet 48-year-old Sunday Igboho, a veteran who became a hero of the Ife Mudakeke War. Wikipedia described him as a human rights activist, a politician, and a businessman. He sells cars. He owns Adeola International Business Concept Limited, and he's also described as the Akoni Odua of Yoruba land. He has worked with many politicians. I guess the one thing that makes Sunday Igboho very popular is that there's the belief that he cannot be killed by bullets. So he believes in, using voodoo, black magic to counter bullets. And there had been several reports that he did this during the Mudakeke Wars. So there's the belief that Otaboro. So on the 15th of this month, Igboho gave a 7-day ultimatum to the Fulani herdsmen in Igboho, where there has been an increase in crime rate, perpetrated allegedly by the influx of herdsmen from northern parts of Nigeria. Now this includes kidnapping people and demanding for millions of naira in ransom, raping women and killing both men and women. I believe that same day, Sunday and his men also raided an alleged kidnapper's den in Igboho. The herdsmen were seen in that video running away from his men. They were running into the bush. Now, at the end of the 7 days, Sunday Igboho and his men chased the herdsmen that were still there. They burned down some of their houses. And in this video by BBC, the Seriki of the Fulani said that he had lived there for more than 45 years and that the herdsmen that are now killing people newly came from Zamfara and Kebbi State. He also said that they were also victims of this new herdsmen. However, some Oyo residents were claiming that the Seriki actually gets paid part of the ransom, the money that these kidnappers take from people. Sunday Igboho also said that some of the Seriki's men shot at him when he went to give them the ultimatum. And in another video, Sunday Igboho said that to get to the Seriki, you go through several roadblocks by the herdsmen, claiming that the Seriki works with the herdsmen. We don't know. Now, in this video, you will see some residents of Oyo State celebrating Sunday Igboho. They said that he's looking out for their safety, that he's standing up for them when the government has failed them, the police has failed them, the elders of Yoruba land have failed them. Now, a lot of people are also upset with the reaction of the state government and, of course, the federal government about this matter. In terms of state government, the Oyo State government said that Sunday is trying to cause a division in Oyo State. The governor claims that his administration is ensuring safety in Oyo State. There's no need for Sunday to do anything.
Our administration is taking all necessary steps to protect the good people of Oyo State from harassment, thuggery, and banditry.
Okay. I don't know, Mr. Governor, in case you're watching, sir. That's like you're lying, sir. I mean, it's like, do you not know what is happening in your state?
We believe we have the situation under control.
Mr. Governor, your belief is quite wrong, sir. It's as if you don't even know what's happening in your own state. So the governor summoned Sunday Igboho to come and see him. Sunday Igboho did not go. Let me know what you guys think about that. People are asking, how come the governor never summoned the leaders of the Fulani community when all these things started? I mean, the governor knows the leaders of the Fulani community in Oyo State. He knows the Miyetti Allah chapter in Oyo State. How come he never summoned them? Also, people are asking, how come since people have been getting killed in Oyo State and getting kidnapped, how come he did not address people the way he quickly addressed them when Sunday decided to do something about it? Meanwhile, there were also reports that the IGP had been ordered to arrest Sunday Igboho and transfer him to Abuja. And once again, people were outraged by that. I mean, the Buhari's administration has never acted so swiftly with the kidnappers. So people are asking, why going after someone that is trying to stop the kidnappers? At the same time, in Ondo State, their governor called the leaders of the Miyetti Allah in Ondo State, the Ondo chapter, they called the police representatives, Fulani representatives, and he gave them 7-day ultimatum as well for those that are not registered with the state government to leave the Ondo Forest Reserve. He said because there has been a rise in crime since the influx of herdsmen from the north. Ondo people stated incidences like the gruesome murder of the Olufon of Ifon, Oba Adewusi, the killing of the deputy registrar of the Federal University of Technology Akure, among other things. Once again, the federal government reacted, saying that no one has the right to evict people from other ethnic groups from their land. And once again, the federal government sided with the herdsmen. Meanwhile, no one has been arrested for the kidnappings. And then on Tuesday morning, around 3 a.m., some hoodlums set Sunday Igboho's house ablaze in Oyo State. Not the one where he lives, but it's also his house. So here is Sunday Igboho talking about the incident.
Gbogbo Fulani Herdsmen tó ń pa àwọn family mi tó bá kó lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá wa látó lè mi àti wọn tó níjà kò dẹ̀ sí olóṣèlú kankan tó lè fẹ́ mi lówó lórí nǹkan tí mò ń ṣe.
Ìjọba tó jọ mí lójú ni pé àwọn Yorùbá tó máa ń sọpọ́tì Fulani Herdsmen láti wá kidnap lé mi ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó bà mí nínú jẹ́.
So once again, Nigeria is knocking on another ethnic war simply because we're not addressing the root cause of the problem. Like I said, we have leaders that don't have vision and leaders who are full of bigotry, leaders who are full of ethnic prejudice and leaders who are siding with their own ethnic group. Buhari's administration has failed to ensure security in Nigeria, especially when the herdsmen are from Buhari's ethnic group. He has continuously ignored their atrocities, and these herdsmen have weapons. They extort people, they kill people. Not one case has been solved by the police, and people continue to live in fear. This is why so many people see Ruga, building Ruga, as almost rewarding them for terrorizing the country. So, by standing up to say enough is enough and giving the herdsmen a 7-day ultimatum, do you believe that Sunday Igboho is the one causing an ethnic divide, as the government is saying? And also, who do you think set his house ablaze? Some people said it's Yoruba people that set his house ablaze. Some people said it's the herdsmen. If we have good police force, we would know by now, but let me know what you guys think about that. But more importantly, do you think deforestation, the drying Lake Chad, depleting natural resources in general, do you think all these things have anything to do with what's happening in Nigeria? Don't forget to watch my video on deforestation. The link is below. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Press the subscribe button. Until next time, I'm gonna see you all later. Peace out.